Hello my art-loving friends! I'm showing you my studio because I got back from my camping trip just a few days ago. That is pretty much everything I brought with me. A bag of snacks back there. But I left my studio kind of a mess because I did some Happy Meal unboxings. Oh, that was so fun! Check out that video. I have a lot of them, but the most recent one I'll link for you up there. And I like to leave everything out because I want to get back to some of it. So, the problem is I can't work. I can't work now. Also, we have a mystery, you guys. Look at this. Look at this. Somebody sent this to me. Was it one of you? If so, please let me know because I would love to thank you. I don't think like World Watercolor Month Doodle Wash would send it to me themselves, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I would love to know if it was one of you, so let me know. So what I really want to do today, though, is get back into this book here, and I want to try acrylic markers. Anyway, whatever this brand is that I did a video on, they were kind of fun. So, and the Chalkola really fine-tipped acrylic markers. So I've got a lot of things I want to try in that book. However, we need a place to work. So what I've done in the past, and you guys know this, so this is more like a vlog than anything else, but I write down all the ideas I have in this little notebook, and that works as far as it goes, but I have decided I'm more of a visual person than I realized, and I really like having the stuff like out as a visual reminder. So yes, I can always reference my list, but like over here, I have the White Night set here because I need to do light fast test on that palette, and like I just tend to want to leave things out, but I cannot have the things on my workspace because I go totally insane. So yes, visual person, but need a totally clear workspace. So we're gonna change some things up here. This is an 8-foot long table here. The desk I put my computer on is really just gonna fit the computer. So, but I have all this room over here under this window, and I have, or over there on top of that little shelf unit, I'm going to put an extra plastic table. I do have another one in a closet. It's 4 feet long. And just put the stuff that I still need to get to on it and see how that feels for a while. So I'm going to do that. I'm not even going to time lapse it for you. I'm just going to do it. Move the stuff off the desk onto that table that is in process and get back to that because I really want to play in that again. The table I have is in there. Why does that seem like a big deal? Well, let me show you. Because it looks like it's just a closet, right? A whole bunch of games and puzzles. Yeah, well, this entire closet comes out. And there's a big storage room behind it, but pulling this whole shelf unit out is kind of hard. I wish I had a table somewhere else, but I do not. All right, that wasn't too bad. Pulling that shelf out is not hard. It's just putting it back in that's a little more challenging. But anyway, I have this plastic table here. It's pretty dirty. I don't know if it'll clean up. But I have this really nice wooden one back there that I thought about putting my computer on originally, but I was looking for things to set it set it up on. Anyway, I'm just going to take the plastic one and either cover it with my regular contact paper or see if it'll just clean up and leave it as is. Okay, table is up, so all my working space is nice and clear. I love that. I still have to put all this stuff away from the trip. These are the containers that held all my brushes, and they were on that wall, but when I put my computer desk there, I had to take them off. So now I do need to find a different place for my brushes, but my to-do table is now there, and I really like it. So that shelf was there already. It was just against the wall, and we have really lovely clear workspace, and this is all the Jack leftovers. Jack is the puppy. I introduce him on the end of every video if you are new, and he likes to tear cat toys apart, and it's great because that was like $17 and it has kept him entertained for hours and hours and hours and hours. We can't do everything in this video, but for now I know I want to try these Arrtx acrylic markers. These, what are these? GuangNa acrylic painters. These were sent to me and I did a review on those. I'll link that in the corner. I think I already told you about that. And the Chalkola super thin acrylic markers, which are now everywhere all over my desk in no order whatsoever. So the little swatch sheet I did showing the colors is no good now. Don't we look? And the little truck that I had these propped on so the studio lights wouldn't glare in your face. Anyway, these Chalkola ones have a pretty fine point. They are a plastic nib. You get a really fine line when you use them. So that's kind of interesting. These GuangNa ones, I'm not saying that right. You can see how thick the nib is on that one. And you have to be super careful when you activate these because they are very juicy. The cool thing about these is they have the clear body, so you can see exactly how much paint you have left and if you need to mix it up or not. So that's pretty neat. And the awesome thing about these is that they come in the brush nib here and the bullet nib, and you don't have to pump them or shake them or anything. They are just ready to use, which is a mystery in and of itself. All right, let's find a page in here that we like and get to painting. Like, we could do this very first page if we wanted. It's kind of intricate, so I think I'm gonna skip that. My signed page, I love that. This is the page I did while camping, and you could color this entire page. It was also very intricate, and I don't even know if these fine tips are fine enough for this, probably, but let's see if we can find a better page. I'm thinking of finding something with a little bit bigger spaces, but I haven't even really looked through this book at all to know what's in here, so some of it you're supposed to doodle on yourself, and I haven't done that, obviously, so I'm just looking for like a coloring page. I guess we could do like these hearts and use all the colors I have to fill in these hearts, so that might be an option. We'll mark that with a pen, a marker, pen, whatever. Wow, these are so fun. What a great book, you guys. This is a really great book. Every page is so thick. It's just nice. We could just color that. That would be relatively simple, but maybe too simple. Flowers are cool. I think this heart page is our best bet. Now to decide what the heck we're gonna do. I wanna try all 3 of these different kinds of markers, so we'll figure that out. Since I already poured these out, I might as well just pour the rest of them out. Jeez. I did a really fun Smurf scene with these, even though they're really fine point. I filled in a lot of space and it was fun. Actually, I just picked up this like red pink. So what I'm going to do is I have a very small stack of copy paper, just regular printer paper you would send through your printer, over here on the side of my desk for things just like this so I can test the color. Okay, so that's a nice red. It might be really fun to, let me zoom in on this. We could do an outline in this, kind of cover up that black with the red. I think that would be fun. Wow, I went out of the lines. It's probably because I'm standing up and not sitting down, so I should probably sit my butt down. We have a couple more markers that look kind of red in this Chalkola set. That one is more brown than red, which I kind of wondered based on that. Let's see what this one is metallic looking. I've got to pump that one up because it is quite dead looking. And when they have these little plastic nibs, I kind of wonder if the paint dries up in them. So you can stick your finger in these. They have little cracks. Kind of get that cleaned out, maybe. I have not used these since that particular video because I have so many other art supplies to use, and I'm a watercolor artist, not an acrylic paint artist. So what I'm going to do is stick this in a little bit of water, and some may pull up into there and dilute this a little bit, but that's okay. It's better than not being able to use that at all. So I'll set that aside and do that a little bit later. But while we're on the red kick, here's a red from that GuangNa set. So we have a lot thicker nib. So let's do one of these big hearts with this one. Just really like to do that outline in the red. That's really fun. So what I was saying is that I suspect that these would take Posca markers or acrylic markers really easily, because that page that I did while camping, I did watercolors in, watercolor markers, and just fine liners, and nothing came through. It didn't really even warp the page at all. And so any little tiny fine liners like this is not going to come through. But I wanted to try it anyway. So let's see how I left things. So I often go back and watch my own videos when I need a reminder of something. Okay, I can just tell you right now, between using these Arrtx and the other 2 that I just did these outlines with, these Arrtx are really, really smooth. They're enjoyable to use. They just are a pleasure. So I'm gonna lean towards those, I'm sure, but let's just do the rest of these and kind of see what we think. There's a bunch of fun designs over here we can play with. I like this star design with a little asterisk. That might be kind of cool. So let's grab maybe this yellow marker here. I've totally lost what order we did these in, but I think if we do the stars in this one, we'll be able to figure things out here. Last time I just drew stars freehand for that mug, and that worked out okay. Yeah, so these are great for fine lines. So that star's a little bit off, but whatever, I'm gonna fill it in. So these are, as I mentioned, very fine liner acrylic markers, so filling in big spaces takes a minute longer than some others, but that's okay. Let's grab this neon one then, make sure it works. Get it primed. Okay, so these super fine, oh, you know, I should have probably mixed it up. I didn't even think about that. Like, most of these need shaken. Okay, so shaking it makes all the difference in the world. And so this has little stars like this. I like that. That's really fun. And I think what I'll do is take the original color and just do some dots. Yeah, I don't even know why I thought acrylic markers would be a question with this, because you're using less of the paper with these than you are when you do the watercolor, and watercolor worked just fine on this paper. Obviously it's watercolor on regular paper, so it's not like perfect, but yeah, this is not even an issue. So let's grab the red again and like maybe outline these stars. Ooh, so this is like a fine liner acrylic marker, but that's still pretty thick. So that's kind of interesting, and it's flowing very smoothly on this paper. So if you want a more fine liner acrylic marker, these Chalkola ones are kind of fun. I think they just sent me an email asking me to review some more of their products, in which I did respond, but just recently. Okay, so let's do some other things. Let's make one of these with a green outline, and I think that using these Arrtx markers again would be fun. So let's do the thick nib like we did this one. Oh my gosh, these are just so smooth. I don't even know if you can tell how smooth these are. They're just really pleasant. And maybe over here, I think we should do a dark blue. Maybe this color. I keep leaning towards these markers, but we should probably, let's try something in this set. I'm gonna tip this right side up so I don't lose the order, hopefully. And we're gonna choose this color right here. I'm gonna shake it. Oh, these don't have a little ball in them. Interesting. So no ball in these. Be very careful, don't press too hard when you use these, because I remember from my original video that they will spew out really easily, so you have to be really careful. And yeah, that didn't go on the lines at all. Oops. Oh my gosh. The bend in the page just took me for a loop there. We're gonna make that a nice thick side of that heart. So these GuangNa are super smooth also. So all of these markers are really nice. I would say so far the only problem I'm having is on these thinner plastic nibs, getting them to reactivate, but shaking that one helped it reactivate, so maybe that's not even an issue. What other colors? We should probably do some pink ones. There's like this kind of bright pink or this pink. Let's see. I think this one. So we'll shake it, give it the best chance it has to work. Yeah, very nice. Okay, because it's a thinner line, it's obviously not covering that black outline as much, but hopefully you can still see the effect that's doing. Working quite nicely. Really like it. And I've often needed an acrylic marker where I needed a thinner line, so these definitely have their place. Now let's try the bullet nib with these and see if we had a bullet nib, if that could replace some of the thinner line acrylic markers. So let's try the bullet nib. Yeah. Yep, it feels like the line width is about the same. You could probably get away with just these Arrtx acrylic markers because you'd have both that brush nib. Oh my goodness, I cannot do a line to save my life today. Anyway, you'd have the thicker brush nib here to do the thicker lines and the bullet nib to do the thin lines. You probably only need the Arrtx. Why am I leaving Poscas out? I don't know. They're over there on the shelf. They're not too far away, but I have all really thick nibs for those. And we all know Poscas are pretty darn nice. So I guess I just don't feel the urge or the necessity to use those here yet, because these are other brands we haven't heard of as much. And so I think it's fun to use other brands we have not heard of as much to see what they are like. All right, so we're gonna do the thinner nib up here. And a bright orange. This is really fun. I really like this book, you guys. Okay, I really like these markers. I like this book. You don't have to think too hard, and it's just fun artwork. If you're one of those people that just enjoys seeing beautiful colors on a page, getting a book like this where you can just doodle and then put your colors down. And I know one of you, Beth, said that you have trouble doodling, but this makes it easier. Let me just say that. It makes it easier. So I am glad you went ahead and bought this book because it's pretty stress-free. You can see I'm just following the outlines right now. Of course, yes, I have to finish up doodling stuff in the middle, but I'm enjoying this a lot. So now we have to figure out these colors. Hey, you know, a bright yellow outline might be good. Let's try this GuangNa marker again. This one does have to be shaken. You can hear the ball in it. Very thick nib, but if I don't press hard, and you don't want to press hard because they'll spew everywhere, then we're good. We'll have two yellows next to each other. We might have to change that. Let me put this one over here. We should go ahead and make this one a green. We'll do this green. It'll be completely different than any of the others. It's fun to pull these all out again and use them. Very grateful for that. Now we have to do designs. Would be fun to do, like, I don't know, this one design here kind of reminded me of watermelons. It's not a watermelon, but it reminded me of a watermelon. Maybe let's do it in this one actually. So we'll do a watermelon rind, and I'm totally making this up and it might not work at all, but we'll find out, won't we? Okay. So watermelon innards, maybe this color. Okay, so we'll do watermelon innards. Very nice. And watermelon seeds. I don't have a black in this. Oh yes, I do. I do have a black in this Chalkola set. We'll do little seeds with this one, and then my dog needs in, so I'm gonna have to go let him in. I don't want him to feel ignored. I can hear him at the door and I'm like, oh, I'm trying, I'm hurrying, I'm hurrying. Oops, that was a lot of seeds in that watermelon. Don't eat that piece. Well, it's kind of fun. And my hand has gotten some acrylic marker on it from this, because it doesn't dry right away, and of course I've stuck my hand all over it. Yeah, I like the black seeds kind of spewed out like that. Alright, it's a little messy, but I'm in a hurry because I need to go let my dog in. And it's just a doodle book, so who cares? Alright, I'll be right back. So I actually rambled on, talking and chatting away for the next 24 minutes. I decided to spare you guys from that and put this all in time-lapse instead with a voiceover. So here I am. And yeah, that little crackle scene was different, but fun. Very different. So yeah, if you're one of those that think you can't doodle, well, just take a look at that and I bet you can do that. Plus leaves turned into hearts. Yeah, I don't know how to draw a leaf, so that was interesting as well. Anyway, regardless, I was having fun with those, and these Chalkola ones, they just were tough to reactivate. So I do need to soak a few of the tips in water. That will completely fix that problem, so they can be redone. Not all of them are active right from the get-go after having been used once before. I do like their fine tips, I do like their ink payout, but they're just not as easy to use, I would say, as the other two brands. And look at that. That GuangNa has such a big tip and it just fills in the spaces so easily. I know we're already past that, but those Arrtx are my favorites. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but just finding different designs to put in all of these was challenging. Actually, there's enough hearts here that you're like, okay, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? So the fact that she gives you ideas on the previous page to look at, copy, emulate, take inspiration from, and so on is very helpful. So that's good when you are like, I am out of ideas. So just go look at her ideas. You can also look through the previous pages and the next pages and find even more inspiration for designs. I like this little waffle design there. I think it would be really fun to do some limited palettes in this because I had all of these colors. I mean, how many colors did I have there? Probably 100. So having a limited palette of maybe like 7 or 8 colors would be really fun to try in the future, but it was fun to just have all of these colors this time. I didn't mind the large selection at all. And anyway, I hope you had fun with this, and I will get back to you in real time here very shortly. And here they are, all finished. They're so fun. How fun was that? So, having the choice between these GuangNa acrylic painters, which are fun and great. All of these Chalkola acrylic markers, again, great for fine lines. And all of these Arrtx acrylic markers. I would have to say, just because ease of use, I would probably always choose these. And I know I didn't pull out the Poscas because I didn't really need to. I mean, we all know Poscas work great. You have to pump them. You have to pump them on a separate piece of paper so you don't make a mess. They're reliable, blah, blah, blah. That's why I used all these off-brands. But I would choose these in a heartbeat. No pumping, no mess. They worked every time reliably. And I really, really like them. Alright guys, I hope this video was interesting. Keep your workspace clean. It'll make you more productive. Enjoy your life. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now. But what I really want to do today is get back into the... But what I really want to do today is get back into the... Why can I not say the words? Okay. Is that they come in the bullet nib? No. It's totally crazy. What a cutie.
Release. Good boy. You getting tired? Looks like it.
Probably. It's 15 minutes of puppy frenzy is about over.
Yeah.